Globally, men are bothered about the size. But I think what women want is more than just that. I think the act of lovemaking involves the mind, body, and soul. Osho was a great philosopher, far ahead of his times. Men make the mistake of concentrating on the act itself. Only then will there be wholesome sex. In most households, sex has become a ritual to be performed last thing at night and then go off to sleep. Wholesome sex is much more than that. It is not just the physical act that is important. Foreplay, the time before the actual sex, is equally important, if not more so. Indian men are so bothered about the size of the penis. Why Indian? I think globally men are bothered about the size. But I think what women want is more than just that. They want to be loved, they want to be caressed, they want to be treated with emotions, and not just concentrate on the physical part of the sexual act. The time before the actual sexual act is known as the foreplay. And what is its importance? It sets up the body to be ready for the actual sexual intercourse. I think the act of lovemaking involves the mind, body, and soul. The foreplay is where the mind acts. The actual sexual intercourse is the body part. And afterplay is where there is soulful experience. What do I mean by these? Foreplay, you have to engage the mind to get ready to that heightened sexual excitement. If a man performs a sexual act ritually, just concentrate on the penetration, the woman is not ready for it. There is less lubrication, and therefore there is pain at the time of sexual intercourse. There may be pain, maybe discomfort, and she gets an aversion for sexual activity. A common problem in the midlife of a married couple. You see, you have to change the thought. Women can get excited by a number of ways, even to the point of orgasm. What is important is non-verbal communication and verbal communication before the actual sexual act. Indeed, foreplay begins right from the breakfast. A peck on the cheek or a little bit of joke leaves the woman in a light-hearted condition, and she's much more ready in the evening to be part of the sexual activity than if a man comes from his office, maybe in the traffic, and then is irritable all the time. Foreplay is the sensual part of the sexual act. There is kissing, caressing, fondling, not just the sexual organs, but all other parts of the body which are erogenous for a female. Neck and shoulders are one of the good places and sensitive places in most women. But you have to find out between the two of you which is the best stimulating area. As I said earlier, foreplay starts in the morning and goes on till the time of the sexual act. Men make the mistake of concentrating on the act itself. Sexual act is only a small part of the whole wholesome sex. Kissing, caressing, emotional movements are all part of the foreplay. As soon as a man gets an erection, he feels that unless he does the activity, he will lose the erection. But one has to have the confidence in the partner. And even if you do lose your erection, it will come back. This is all a myth that there will be a problem. Women, on the other hand, require more time to get excited to that level. And if the activity is carried on like in the males, just get on with it and slam bam, thank you ma'am, sort of attitude, and then roll off. That leaves both the partners unsatisfied. So what men have to realize is that sex is not all about physical activity. It is also about the mind. Person should be, especially women, need to be in that frame of mind to enjoy the sexual activity, to mutual excitement. Only if both partners are properly aroused will there be a wholesome sex. And the body is then receptive, especially the women, where lubrication occurs to the right level, and it is a wholesome act. I hope I've managed to impress upon you the importance of foreplay. There is another thing called as afterplay, which is equally important, but not considered by many men. I think the credit for bringing the afterplay as an important part of the sexual activity must be given to Osho. Osho was a great philosopher, far ahead of his times. If you ask me, he was the best andrologist ever. his philosophy of liberating the soul with proper wholesome sex is even now being understood by the students of andrology. He introduced the concept of afterplay. It's not as if the afterplay was not known before Osho. It was in our scriptures, it was in Kama Sutra. But somewhere along the line, it got waylaid. It got lost its importance. Whereas this is the single most important thing that makes a wholesome sex. There comes a stage when ejaculation or orgasm occurs in both the partners, and then the mind goes blank. There are no thoughts there. You are at a level much higher than the normal level of mindful activity. It is bliss. It is heaven. When no thoughts can enter and you are floating in a trance. But for that, you have to be conscious that part is going to occur. You have to be conscious of the fact that you are in that part of activity, and you have to prevent sleep. In Yog Nidra, we do the same thing. We don't let the mind sleep and the rest of the body relaxes. Exactly the same thing happens after a fruitful sexual activity, provided we realize it. And that's where the problem is. Men do not realize that the most important part, the most blissful part, is after the act is over. You just lie back on the bed and relax. The body will relax itself. The mind, you have to prevent it from going off to sleep. Because if the mind goes off to sleep, then none of these blissful moments are encountered or felt. And only if there's proper foreplay and bodily activity is there a proper afterplay. It is an event that has to be remembered. It is an event that has to be tried out. It is an event that you have to be aware of. Because otherwise, what will happen is, what is happening nowadays is people have mechanical sex and then roll off on the bed with the back towards your partner and promptly go off to sleep. Once you learn the importance of foreplay, you learn how to have a proper foreplay, the activity comes naturally, and the afterplay you have to focus on. Only then will there be wholesome sex of mind, body and soul. That's all for today. Please press the like button if you've liked the video. If you have any suggestions, any comments, or would like me to talk about something on sexual health, please mention it in the comment section. And oh yes, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for your patient hearing, and have a nice day. As the Duchess said to the Bishop, keep it up.